Alright, rolling right along, let's get moving so we can build some stations and some shipyards, because it is 2026 and we got to get a move on, because we only got 7 years and we've spent almost 3 of them, so, well, yeah, 3, 4, 5.
Public opinion is moving in our
Spent
direction.
more than 3 of them.
Our
What am I
case
talking
remains
about?
unheard.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Buffing up some public opinion. Fingers crossed that we eventually get into China.
We've found something.
I'm thinking if I'm going to be abandoning Japan, I could do worse than spoiling it. We've got the patrol vessels project. This unlocks 2 more terrible cannons and the frigate, monitor, and destroyer hulls. The hulls are more interesting to me. Nope, still no China. The hulls are much more interesting to me than these guns. I'm going to go for missiles, I think. How are we doing for unrest? We're fine pretty much everywhere. Is there any unrest in Australia? Nope. Is there any unrest in Japan? There is a little bit of unrest in Japan, so we'll go crush that. You know, democracy and riot police and all that, it's for a good cause. Okay, we got Operations Center. That's what we needed. That's what we needed. So, the Operations Center is a space station module. It's a bit expensive, has a lot of crew, 50 crew. It's very heavy, so you don't want to boost this thing into orbit without being able to build it in space. But it creates 1 mission control. And what I might actually do in order to speed myself up is go devolve Space Command. It'll be done by March and it'll give us just a little bit of a boost. But with what we've got going just there, I reckon we can found an orbital, not a platform. Platform costs 1.5 boost. An orbital costs 12 boost. It's a tier 2 station. We're going to boost it. Where are we going to boost it to? I reckon we boost it to intermediate or extreme Earth orbit, because we don't want to take up the valuable interface slots. So I'll boost it to high Earth orbit. So we'll name this HEO MC1. And you can see, instead of having 4 slots, the tier 2 hab stations have a lot more than that. They got 12. So you can fit a lot more onto 1 station. Now, what we want to do is build a crap ton of these. We don't have advanced power generation. We don't have T2 power generation yet, unfortunately. So we're going to have to spam the crap out of solar collectors to start with. Which will actually be finished before the core module. And this thing costs 3 MC to maintain, so it's not actually going to pay for itself until I can get better power generators. This is a reason why we A, need good power generators, and 2, I realized I should not have built... This will like take the edge off, but really I shouldn't have built this station until I had the T2 solar collectors, although I guess this is setting the time. This will bring the station down to a net 1 MC cost, but with a lot of other upkeep costs. What do I need in order to get... Just going to refresh my memory. What do I need for solar... for T2 solar? It should already be... solar array. There we are. Okay, so solar array should unlock itself as an option soon anyway, if it hasn't already. I'll just check if it has already. No. Alright, we're going to hold out for solar array. Solar array will solve this problem. Oh great, Japan has taken severe damage. Well, that's a problem. Well, Japan, you can just put a little extra money into my pocket then, I reckon. 17% spoils should do it. It should up my monthly income considerably. Won't do great things for global warming, but you know, it is what it is.
Things are stabilizing.
We'll stabilize you regardless.
Public opinion remains unmoved.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The people will come to our side.
29% chance China, 29% chance China. We will help out with the hurricane because we're not
Do
short
not
on ops
seek to be
anymore.
the elephant. Become instead the mosquito.
There we are,
which-
Missile Warfare Doctrine. Love your work. So, what do I want now? Mission to Jupiter is not on the cards. Carbon nanotubes is a necessity. Carbon nanotubes is a necessity. So we will develop carbon nanotubes. That'll be done by June. We can actually do better. So we're starting to unlock different missile types. Ah, shit. What's damaged at Mars 6? Okay, good. Nothing destroyed.
We're taking over.
Fantastic. We've got our first spot in China. That's probably a cue to abandon. We'll decline that. I should probably abandon something else soon. Australia is an option to abandon. I know, heresy, but I kind of want to keep Australia as irrational as that might be. Mexico is probably the go. Mexico has got 4 CPs. It's costing me a lot of upkeep, but it's not giving me... It's giving me less research than Australia. It's giving me no boost, no MC. The funding here is limited. What I'm actually getting out of Mexico is very limited. So I'm going to abandon Mexico, which will fix my problem to an extent. And I'm going to keep working on China.
Putting our people in place.
Viper missiles. Pluto papers. Okay, so basically it's been discovered that one of our councillors has been keeping a lot of their finances in a Cayman Island knockoff. We can try and cover this up, or we can instead blackmail her, which will reveal information about us and mean that we have to improve her loyalty again. But she'll give us 13,000. So we'll start inspiring her with Bonza after this, I reckon. Continue to unlock more and more types of missiles. There's the solar array. Maximum priority. Will be done by 23 February. And that'll be what we need to make those stations efficient. Preferably we'd also go to Mercury, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that in practical time. The reason to go to Mercury is because Mercury is closer to the Sun. Being closer to the Sun means you get more solar generation, not less. Okay, we're completing more outpost mining complexes. Resource income continues to go up. We're in a good place. I think that's the missile I want. I think it's the Copperhead. I'll show you all the missile options in a moment, but let's just get the solar array done first. Oh, bingo. Control point 2, China. Okay. So we've got 2 control points in China. I'm feeling good about life. This is good. Japan we need to hold on to for mission control. I mean, I could, instead of doing spoils for the money, like, instead of actively ruining Japan, maybe we try and hold on to it and max out its MC for a little while longer. We're struggling with influence, but we can probably survive doing a little bit more. Abandoning Mexico really helped. I don't want to abandon Canada because there's 2 mission control there, but Mexico is really one to let go of. And we can save some points by letting go of Myanmar at some point. I would let go of Iran. The problem is the whole nuclear weapons thing there. And we're getting a little bit of boost out of Iran. I'm going to stop improving Iran's boost. And to keep Iran stable, I'm going to allow some corruption in Iran. How much do they want there? They want 41% spoils. I mean, you can have 25%. No, you finish your mission control first. That should reduce the risk a little bit, but odd. Okay, fair enough. And also, spoils is really effective in dictatorial, so totalitarian countries with resource nodes. Spoils is terrible. You shouldn't do spoils. It's criminal and bad and damages a nation. But it's really easy to divert large amounts of wealth when you have a totalitarian government and a resource extractive-based economy. So if you want to steal a bunch of money, hypothetically, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, those are the places you want to go if you want to encourage corruption. But you would never do that because you are good people. Right? And now we're on a little bit of a roll.
Establishing control.
What's the up?
We should start inspiring Antonella
I'll speak with them.
because she was out in the Pluto papers, which means we know that she had the -4 loyalty. First solar collectors are being finished, but that's not enough for me. I need the solar arrays. Japan's basically done, but we need to go inspect those.
Will come to our side.
The
Russia,
people will
very
come to our
positive.
side.
Let's check in on America. America, very positive. Public opinion also impacts how much influence you extract from an economy, right? So having lots of public opinion in a large nation gives you, puts you in a really good position. Okay, so we're back. There's a couple of things that we're in research. I think we want solid core fission 2. The thing is, can I afford to finish Devolve Space Command for this +2 MC? And then do solid core, Copperhead. I'm going to do that because we need the nanotubes as well to get good technology. So we've done the solar array. So let's go back up and redesign our station. So now we have solar arrays available which generate 40 power, which means we can instead do a scenario so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are, what are these? Okay. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 op centers and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh god, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That math checks out. So this station will cost 3 MC to maintain, but it will generate 6 MC, which will push, and then that'll unlock the ability for us to build another one of these, which will push it further, and we can accelerate the mission control spiral as long as our economy can sustain it. But there you go, that's a T2 orbital in construction. We've got Plane Eye Station in orbit. Looks like the Servants have built a station. They haven't expanded on it yet. We know about LEO-1, which is our Xeno station. We could possibly expand that and mount a whole bunch more. ISS and Shipyard belong to the Academy. And is the moon full yet? No, the moon still has 1 slot available. I don't think anyone else has made it to Mars. Yep, no one else has made it to Mars yet, which I am happy with. It will not be long before they do. Provided they don't waste all their boost on something else. Oh, come on. Finish off China. The initiative was targeting Mexico. I am fine if the initiative takes Mexico. Anyone but the Servants is basically the rule. 93 net influence. I'm happy with that. Investigate.
Ready to go.
Bonza.
We'll make things
With
safe.
the thankless task of trying to keep the EU in line, but the EU is slowly climbing towards 5 cohesion. It's hard to get there, but we will get there.
I believe they'll stay loyal to
Inspire
the
critical success, happy with that. I don't like these alien activities. Fission reactor away, that's the tier 2 fission reactors, so it's the 40 energy version of the fission array. Could be handy.
Things are stabilizing.
Keep the European Union peaceful, please. We are going to increase the GDP of China now because I've changed my mind. I'm going to try and control China, even if it breaks my influence income, because it will keep people under control. Construction module. That wasn't the construction module. That was just another base doing its core completion.
People in place.
Fantastic. That's 3 control points in China. Unfortunately, it halves our monthly influence income, so we may have to abandon something soon, but that's okay. For China, I will develop a special custom set, but only once we've taken it over more fully.
What's the op?
What are we going to do here? I don't want to go after the... There are a lot of unknown councillors around. I mean, I could go talk to Exodus. I already have a non-aggression pact with them though, so they're not really my priority. My current objective is to research alien movements and salvage alien technology. I don't think alien movements is currently an option for me. So what I'm going to do
We'll see what they are up to.
is just start scouting out some
think we
other
had a breakthrough.
councillors. I'll do one more Inspire after this one, and then I'll be happy that
Any
Antonel's
species
probably back up.
capable of contacting us would have overcome.
Yeah, whatever you say. Advanced neural networks is done. What are they researching next? Space research is being done.
We've got some
And
intel
arrival
on our
international relations. That's an academy, damn it. I'm hoping to identify someone from Humanity First, because I want to talk to Humanity
Violence is
First.
abating.
And if you're wondering what I'm going to do for my boost, we'll get there.
Our
Transnational
case remains
coordination.
unheard.
We'll stop campaigning in Russia at this point. I'm happy with this public opinion. China, our problems are going to be getting the authoritarianism down, so democracy up, and also fixing
Gain
wealth
significant
inequality.
support.
We're at 4 out of 6. Repeat. Income of influence is now basically nothing. So I'm going to have to abandon somewhere else soon. I think it's time to leave Myanmar, because if we check the control point costs, 1 CP in China costs 6. Both our points in Myanmar together cost 4. I think it's time to leave. Yeah, it's time to leave. Because we're not really feeling the loss of Mexico yet. I don't want to leave Canada. But we may have to.
Reporting in.
The problem is it'll put a hole in our it'll put a hole in our MC allotment.
Where to?
Ready for orders.
Let's go see if we can find a... Oh, no, there's a Humanity First guy. We'll talk to them. But before we do so, we'll repeat our usual trick. Actually, no, just
Initiating contact.
contact.
Where do you need me?
So let's found a shitty platform at extreme Earth orbit. Although I should stop filling up extreme Earth orbit. There's some good value up there. EO2HF. That gives us something to trade just in case we have no technology. Humanity First isn't going to care as much about it as some other factions do, but you know, it is what it is. We won't do a hostile takeover. We will just do a public campaign. We're not going to do a public campaign in China. We're going to do one in Australia.
Making our case.
I believe they'll
Done.
stay loyal to the cause.
We'll open
Okay,
the channel.
Mr. Castillo,
Your
you
heart
love
is
using a
in the
nuclear
right
weapon,
place,
so I would very
but
much
your
like a
methods
non-aggression
are
pact with you.
insufficient to meet the threat.
You already... Oh, okay. That's right, you have a base on the moon, and you've built your own orbital, so you're not going to value... You're not going to value... Oh, did I not save the name? I didn't save the name. Oh, I did. That's not what I want to sell. I want to sell that. So you're still going to buy it, but you're not going to value it as highly as some other things. You are low on influence. Do you have any good orgs that I want? I'm looking for mission control, for big... I'm just looking for really good value picks here. Not these. 1 mission control. Hydra energy looks good. Oh, that looks amazing. I'll buy that. That's probably a 3-star though. they've built up perhaps the most impressive group of orgs that I've seen amongst any so far. And I think that's because Humanity First is doing pretty well. They'll give me those orgs. And the fact they're trading these very cheaply suggests to me that they have too many orgs to equip on their councillors, which means they probably have some in storage, which is why they're willing to sell this stuff off. I could sell them some tech. Did they have any tech for me? No. So I'll just buy some money. They're willing to give me 3,000, which is not much, but I'll take it. The fact that they're selling the non-aggression pack so cheaply and giving me all this stuff suggests that maybe Extreme Earth Orbit is still overvalued. Interface orbits, I can see this totally be worth it. Like if an AI offered me those stations, I might consider this. Or they really want the non-aggression pact. So, with that said, we now have non-aggression pacts with Exodus, with Humanity First. We seem to have lost ours with Academy. I wonder what we did wrong there. Okay, Australia is asking her to do something. We'll just do it. Because I don't want Dawn to be shot by Australia. Those
winning their hearts and minds.
people. We've abandoned Myanmar, which gets us up a little bit, and we've done Devolve Space Command, which should up our MC just a bit. I think now we grab... Now, when you look at missiles, you have a lot of stats to look at. There's all sorts of balancing here. So, for example, Torpedoes, 63-ton module, acceleration, so the missiles can pull 3 Gs, but we saw alien ships that can pull more than 3 Gs in combat, so it's going to be hard to hit things with a torpedo. But it's got 5.8 kps of delta V, relatively short range, but this damage, 199.2 damage. We were seeing cannons that do 4. So this is a weapon that does crap tons of damage. It's an improved torpedo. Then we've got Cobra Missiles, larger anti-ship missiles, hyperglide rocket fuel, so only 52.5 damage, but we've got more acceleration, shorter range. It's explosive, which means it does 50% damage to armor, which can blast holes in armor. Hera torpedoes. The ones I like here are Copperheads. Copperheads have a targeting range of 1,000 kilometers, which is considerably better than cannons. Their acceleration is 4 Gs, which is more than the alien ships. They got 5.45 kps of delta V. 51 damage is like not as good, and the module's pretty heavy, but it's an extended range cruise missile using hydrolox, so rocket fuel basically. So we will definitely research that. Once we've got solid core fission reactor done, we can pick up the Copperhead missile. We've completed a mining complex on Mars. I'm not seeing the +2 bonus.
We'll be ready for new orders.
Either I've missed the +2 bonus or I didn't get the +2 bonus. If I didn't, I'm going to bug report that because I spent 2,500 science on that. Okay, we're at 5 out of 6 in China, and we are negative again. We are going to have to abandon somewhere. Man, we're going to have to leave somewhere behind, and right now I don't have the MC gap to do it. Oh man, I'm going to have to abandon Iran. I'm going to have to abandon Iran, and then if the servants come back in, I'm going to have to immediately counter-invade. It's that or abandon Australia. Oh, that's so bad. Oh my god, I'm going to have to abandon Australia. Because I can't leave those nukes. Oh, this is so hard. This is so bad. I'm going to have to abandon one or the other. What are they costing me? Australia and Iran. Both costing, but Australia only have 2 CPs, Iran I have 3, so Iran is costing 9. If the servants take it, I'm going to have to invade it again and keep going until someone else takes it over. And if I do that, I'll invade Turkey at the same time because, you know, they're still working on nukes, they're just much less advanced than Iran is. So that puts me back into the positive at positive 61 influence a turn. I'll do a quick run through of my councillors. I might stop recording for a second while I do that. Okay, I've done some serious rejuggling of my councillors at the moment, including lots of level ups and allocations. I have sent my money income to the moon. It's now well, not to the moon, but it's gone from about 500 and something to 835. I've pushed my mission control to 27, just based off the back of my councillors, and I pushed my mining income bonus to 72%, which is really going to make a difference in terms of these yields. This is something you can run an economy off. These numbers, we're starting to get things that we can actually run an economy off and that we can maintain some mission control stations if we start to launch them. So the criminal is being optimized. There's a couple of holding patterns here which are just mining organizations. The executive is holding that really good Libertatem Terrae organization and Omicron missile supplies. So there's a lot of mission control now sitting here. Also this mechanized motor supplies, which pays for itself and also gives reasonable bonuses. Same with Belenos Brands, which is a very high level company. It was expensive, but it's totally going to pay for itself. It's got like 90 income associated with it. Leonard, he's still leveling up, so he's just holding some mining companies. Our astronaut picked up Pax Robotica, which gives him coup d'etat, which is amazing. So we gave him the special activities section to lift him to 19 command, which is starting to approach that 25 cap. So we now have Bonza Bunny able to do some really effective coups. We've got reduced assassination because we no longer have our criminal with the really good espionage benefits to be able to shoot people, but we can stage coups. So there we are, I've done that.
Ready for my mission.
And what I can do now is I can launch more stations, I reckon. So if I look at stations, I've got high Earth orbit being my MC location, so let's launch. We'll call this HEO MC2. I might start the norm that colonies can use ordinary numbers and stations can use Roman numerals. That might be how we go about this. So then we go 4 operation centers. Then we'll go 2 more operation centers and 2 solar arrays. And that's another net +3 mission control that is in construction. Very handy. The more MC we get constructed, the more colonies and mines that we can build, and the more we can keep the train rolling. Dawn.
What's
Bonza. Life is good. You now have the coup button. Go coup
Time
Portugal.
for some new leadership.
Ready.
And meanwhile, we're going to move the 2 bits of the American military to Madrid. We're going to move the French military to Madrid. We're going to move the British military to Madrid because I haven't forgotten my EU enlargement process and their filthy servants. And now we have someone who's really good at coups, so life is good. Stabilize nation. Don't think it's going to be needed outside maybe the EU. It will. And I'm going to destabilize, unfortunately, a little more when I incorporate more nations into the EU again. That is just the way it is. Who's available to detain? No one I want to detain. Public. As soon as we get the executive, we can drop a defend interest, I think. But for now, just Russia. But we're going to start the economy speed run soon. I just want a little bit more MC. This station isn't providing its mission control yet, but it will soon provide enough that we can build another station which generates more MC. This is not very efficient in Earth orbit because of the way power generation works, but no one's researching mission to the inner planets yet. I don't care about that. Care about carbon nanotubes. Okay, we've got Copperhead missiles, so we no longer have a piece of shit weapon. I'll design a ship later and I'll show you what a piece of crap looks like before you have decent weapons, but Copperheads and railguns and things like that, if you think about the weapons you start with as like Tech 0, good missiles and railguns and early lasers can all be thought of as like Tier 1. They're things that humanity kind of knows how to do if it really threw everything at it, so that's what we're going to do. I don't think we need any of these. We could go for alien listening post, we could go for shipyards. I don't think I need a T2 shipyard. All that's going to do is speed up construction, and I'm actually fine as it is. I'm also fine with the number of orgs I get. I'm going to pick up fission reactor array, but after I pick up solid fission core reactor, and we're going to go carbon nanotubes.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
The
Go
government
China.
is in better
Coup in
hands.
Portugal succeeded,
Prepping for next
which
mission.
should knocks Portugal out of the EU. So we'll take the executive spot, de-ally everyone, and then do our European
When faced with a large
invasion. I'm not seeing missions to the inner planets. What do I need for missions to the inner planets? Advanced heat management concepts, okay. We've got almost everything we need. We need fission pulse drives, and we need the very expensive diamondoids, which requires advanced atomic manipulation. So these are some expensive techs. December 2026. Oh boy, it's going to be a race to get this stuff done in time, but I'm going to do my best.
By the numbers.
Looks like we've finished some MC in orbit, which means we get to found another station, which will be done in 90 days. So let's go HEO again. HEO MC3. We'll go similar design. Solar arrays on the outside. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to have to cut this soon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even more mission control in construction. Oh, we haven't even finished this stuff yet. We've only finished 2 of them. We're still building more. Fantastic. Yep, we're losing points in Myanmar. That's fine.
We're taking over.
6 out of 6 in China. Okay, so we're going to fix China. We're not going to be able to fix it in the timeline of the demo, but we're going to start optimizing the heck out of China. What do I want out of China? Out of China, I want research, because research is done on a per capita basis. We've got a huge number of armies. Most of them are not mobile in terms of having navies, but we're not going to focus on using China for military power, at least not early on. We're going to decline that. You can do it once we leave. So we're going to turn off boost and mission control for the moment. We're going to turn off Unity. China doesn't need Unity. China's at like 8.6 Unity. What China needs doesn't even need the economy immediately. I wouldn't even say it immediately needs a huge amount of welfare. It needs 60% knowledge investment to get this education level up and to get the democracy level up. So we're going to go 60% knowledge to start with and see if we can start increasing China's research income, because with the race to get these techs done in time, what we really care about is research income. I'm at 11 positive income there, but it'll improve slightly. It'll improve slightly once I fold Portugal in, but not by much.
We'll make things safe.
Protecting our interests.
But China is now secure. We've completed solid core fission 2,
to have been chosen for
and we've done space research. So, what do I need next? I'm not really in a rush for any of these. I'm going to put molten salt, but I'm not going to research it. I'm going to do fission reactor array and go advanced by 16 September. Troops are starting to arrive. 28 of 31. Alright, apologies. I think there was a cut in the recording there because I forgot to press the damn button, but there you go. I think the only thing I've done is a little bit of stuff in space and rebalancing China's priorities to start turning it into a little bit more of a research monster, because research is really, well, it's the race against time in the demo. Not as much of a matter if we have a longer timeline, I think, but if we're trying to do stuff in the timeline. Okay, Australia wants us to send in Dawn to sabotage something about North Korea. I think we're going to sabotage North Korea's GDP by 2%. Okay. Alright, she was arrested. She'll be out in 4 cycles, I
The
think.
people will come to our side.
Anyway, there you go. It is what it is. We've all deployed there. Oh, we didn't claim a seat in Portugal. We need to do that so that we can declare war on Portugal. I heard the alien sound. Ah, Warsaw, Warsaw. Alright, we've got to go stop the aliens from hijacking stuff around Warsaw. Let's send Antonella in to control Portugal.
We'll
She
be running
cannot
this
fail.
place in no time.
Standing by
Mr.
for
Bunny can
orders.
go investigate the
Investigating
alien
alien
sites.
site.
Dawn
Reporting
is
in.
arrested. So she gets paid, but she doesn't have to do anything for a couple of months. Going advanced atomic manipulation and fission reactor array. We are now slightly over our MC. That's a problem.
Things are going off.
We're winning their
Because
hearts and
if
minds.
the AI figures that out, they'll start trying to take over our location. So, when is this finished? Oh, this will be finished. These will be finished in 2 days. Okay.
I
Alright,
will
I'm not an
report
idiot.
when my
I
mission
just
is
was off by
complete.
days. We'll be okay. Everything should finish. There we go. 34 MC. We've unlocked the Nerva drive. Fantastic. So Nerva drive is one of the first drives that I would actually consider using. So it looks like there's a lot of engines, and you could be very, very confused. Here's my advice. Look at the thrust rating. The thrust rating is how much acceleration you're going to get out of the thing. The exhaust velocity is how much delta V, relatively speaking, you're going to get out of the thing. So high thrust, low exhaust velocity means your ship has a very short range, but it's going to be better in combat and take not as long to get places. A very high exhaust velocity potentially means that even early game you can reach out into the outer solar system potentially, but your ship's not going to be very fast and maneuverable. The other thing to note is what your propellant is and what your propellant materials are. So this doesn't use water for propellant tanks, it uses metal because it shoots metal out the back. There's a number of other things that you can look into so far as understanding, but those are what I would look for in terms of rating an engine. So if we look at this mass driver, 4.4 and 3.3, if I look at the Vasimir, it's a rating 1 thrust engine. This is not going to get you anywhere fast, but it's extremely efficient and quite early on. So this is a long-range, minimal thrust engine. Not particularly good if you want to be doing, flips in combat, but if you just want to slow burn out somewhere long distance, maybe the Vasimir engine is something you can use. The Nerva at 6.6 and 3 is pretty good. It uses solid core fission power, which we've now unlocked. The Nerva is a functional engine. So if you want an engine that will run a ship early in the game, the Nerva is okay, but we're going to do better. We're going to try for pulse drives.
We've found something.
We've gained significant
Okay, we've
support.
controlled Portugal. So of course, Portugal now has no friends. Oh, we don't need to become friends with Russia, we just need to not be allied with anyone. Iran is being taken over by Exodus, that's fine. In fact, it's much better. If Exodus gets nuclear weapons, that's fine, because there's very few circumstances Exodus would use nukes that I wouldn't. And we de-ally. Great, a bunch of outposts are finishing on Mars, fantastic. And then what we want to do is we want to rival the European Union.
Where do you need me?
Set national policy.
Time to make our move.
That way we'll be able to declare
Ready
war
for
on
orders.
we'll be able to declare
Heading to
war
the LC.
on
Where to?
Portugal.
Ready for my mission.
Antonella, Europe's looking pretty good. Europe is almost up at the point where I can ease off the Unity
Making
investment.
our case.
Once we get to 5, we'll stop.
Ready.
Europe's looking much better.
What's
That's
the
a
up?
nice 25.5 trillion GDP, which is outstripping America, which is about the same as it was at Game Start, which is not bad. If your economy's not collapsing, you're doing okay. And they're both in much better shape. America is much less divided than it was at the start of the game, but it could still use some public campaigning. Because we're
I
not
will
doing
tell
Unity
our
spending
story.
in the US,
What's
we're
the
not
up?
getting the opinion bonus. Okay, we've completed fission reactor array, fantastic. Now I could go Nerva, I could research the Nerva drive, but I'm kind of thinking I actually do want to commit going and getting really a good enough ship to shoot down an alien, and I don't think the Nerva's going to do it. It might, the Nerva might be enough, but I don't feel I'm in a rush. A graphene battery could be useful. Composite armor, no. These are all too expensive. I'm tempted... Look, I'm going to select the Nerva, but I'm not going to research it immediately. Instead, I'm going to start researching patrol vessels, because those are a better set of hulls. Don't need them quickly, but they're a better set of hulls for us to put all this stuff on. But we will need advanced atomic manipulation, and that's going to take a while, because it's a 10,000 research tech. Meanwhile, we have 36 mission control, 1, 2, 3 MC in construction, I'm pretty sure. Or MC
The
consumption in
people will
construction.
come to our side.
We might actually have more
Mission
than that.
complete.
Declare war on Portugal. Everyone joins the war. Close. Okay. So I think we have 1, 2, 3... Okay, so we've got 4 MC demand in construction. When does that stuff all finish? Very soon. We're going to let these finish so I don't go over my MC budget, and then we're going to figure out if I can drop more MC stations in orbit. I want to keep expanding those. We want to push this MC number up really high so that we can take over more of Mars, and also I in fact I will, with Ceres as an objective, rather than waiting for our probe to get there. It's 514 days, almost 2 years. It's going to be towards the end. It's going to be towards the end of the demo. But I'm tempted to launch it anyway just because it's good practice. So everyone just understand that this is not perhaps the most optimum thing to do. But I'm going to do it because if this was a real playthrough, that's what I would do. Because that construction outpost will then mean we get a head start. Because our survey completion isn't until August. In August we can launch that, but by launching this, we get a 2-month head start. Which is about 10 to 15%, depending on how you look at it. I could have launched it earlier.
PLC is secure.
Solar flare. Oh shit. Okay, so now we're in an emergency situation. We're down to 27 MC, which means if we don't do something drastic, people are going to start stealing our shit in space. So what I'm really looking for is any possible source of mission control that I can find. I'm going to need to hack together stuff on Earth. I'm going to need to reduce the amount that I'm generating because I'm about to have a whole bunch of mines finish, which are going to push me even more over. When do my MC stations finish? 15 July. I'm going to lose some stuff if I'm not careful. So what can I do? How close am I? I can probably get 1 MC there with a direct invest. So let's do that first. Cost me 8k money. Alright. That gets me up. That'll get me, as soon as I unpause, that'll push me to 28 MC. Or at least it should push me to 28 MC. I'm not seeing any. Australia will come through with more MC. We're going to just, you know what, Australia, you don't need to do anything other than complete that mission control. So that'll take us to 29. Ooh, we're in trouble. Bloody solar flares. Bloody solar flares. 15 July, no way around it. No way around it. And we're going to be even more in the hole. Alright, there's little to do about it. We've just got to press on.
Prepping for next mission.
The only thing we can do now is we can send out, in this phase, we can send out as many diplomatic contacts to people as possible, trade with them, and instantly put in their organizations, because the AI knows. It's going to be launching its counselors into space now to seize control of our stations because we're over our
Ready
limit.
for my mission.
So we'll
Establishing
talk to
combat.
humanity first. I don't
Ready
think
for
there's
my
anyone else we
mission.
can talk to. Bloody
Your
hell.
orders.
Reporting in.
I could spend a lot of money here to get Canada to give me another MC. Okay, that'll give me a little bit more. Geez, this is suboptimal. America I can get another one out of. If I temporarily... I don't want to ruin my current priority scheme, but I can't see any way around it, really. This is just to push out the extra MC point as fast as possible. And then I'm going to have to fix America's priorities again. The Americans are going to be very confused that the budget is 100% mission controls
Ready for orders.
for about a month. There's no one else I can talk to, so I really hope Humanity First has some control orgs. China's not a huge help because it's nowhere near building its next MC point. Japan isn't really... Australia will hit its next MC point, and it will do it almost instantly, so that'll take me up to 29. The other thing I can do is I can sell some stuff to Humanity First that I want to get rid of. That's an idea. Is there anything that I can ditch? I could ditch LEO 1 for another 1 point. Australia gets me to 30, that gets me to... So Australia gets me to 29, that brings me down to 31, so if I can get 2
Ready for my
orgs
mission.
somehow,
Acknowledged.
then I'm going to cover
Ready.
until my next stuff completes, then I'm going to be in trouble again, but it'll avoid the councillors this time being successful. Bloody solar flares.
We'll make our appeal.
Where do you need me?
At your service.
And I can't really launch into orbit and protect my assets
tell our
because
story.
I'm over MC
Where
limit.
do you need me?
Securing our interests.
Okay.
Reaching out.
What do you got?
Your heart is in the right place, but your methods are insufficient to meet
I'm
the
looking for
threat.
anything that looks like it might be vaguely associated with mission control. And I'm actually just checking everything because who knows. Okay, 1. Gotta solve this problem somehow. Okay, so you've got a grand total of 1 MC. Australia gets me to 29. That gets me to 30. If I sell you LEO 1, that gets me to 31. Oh, I'm still going to be short by 1. There is nowhere else. Is there no one else? I'll check if there's anything good here to buy while I'm at it. Heracles Energy looks great. But this is just me low-key buying time while I think about how to solve the bloody problem I'm in. Because if I lose one of my mission control stations, because I'm over the MC cap, and someone steals my mission control station, that'll give them more MC and me less MC, and therefore I won't be able to, like, it'll become a vicious cycle, which is why you probably should, except for during this exact phase of the game, keep a little bit of buffer on your mission control. But this exact time was the worst time for a solar flare. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy your money. And I'm seriously considering selling you one of my moon bases. But I won't. I'm going to commit to trying to find some other way. Okay, pause. That lowers me down. Australia should finish that in a second. Let's find someone, anyone, who can hold this org. You, one more administration point. Unassigned org, Pelion Aerospace. That's boost. I don't want boost, I want MC. I got very excited when I saw the space-based thing, but alas, no. Still a good org though. Like, that's just still a good org. I think we'll give you this. We'll give her this. I want to give someone this, actually. It's a lot of monthly influence income to give up, especially since we're now negative. But I want to get this out there. Alright, that can wait. Australia will finish. Who is the closest? The absolute closest. It's America. If I spend half my money, I can do it. Shit, that's expensive. Let's spend... Let me think about this for a moment. I think between Australia and America we can just do it. Alright, I've decided that what I'm going to do is direct invest about 6 points here and then run the clock while, and I shouldn't forget about doing this, casually invading Portugal. Won't leave the 2nd Marine Division out, because this should invest really quickly. I'm at 30 because that means Australia's finished.
Public opinion remains unmoved.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
That finished. Why am I not at 31? America just finished a new MC point. Why am I not at 31? Australia just finished its MC point. I repeat my previous question. Why am I not at 31? That's a problem. I think the only thing I can do, what I should have done, is sold low series orbit. It's not important. It's there for prestige. I might send a contact back to whoever I can find next time and just sell them the series station. Losing those control points is fine. The negative control point, the negative income is not fine. We're going to let the Philippines grow. And now we're even more over. We're going to be okay in 2 weeks. We've got one more mission phase. One more mission phase. Can I survive one more mission phase? I think what I'm going to do, is there anyone I can see? No. Okay. I think we're just going to tough this out. If we can survive, if we're lucky, we will be okay. And if we're not, well, it is what it is.
Making our case.
This is a solar flare, man. So solar flares can happen. They are random events. They temporarily reduce the amount of mission control that your assets generate. And they can be a real
Standing
pain.
by for orders.
I'm going to be temporarily negative. That's
Your orders.
okay.
Securing
Because
our
as soon as
control.
I absorb Portugal,
Ready
I will
for
be
my
positive
mission.
again.
Making things safe for our people.
Securing our interests.
I'm counting the days. Both to being positive in terms of influence. Okay, so going to war has allowed us to cut the Unity investment because we are now at 5.2. That's great. We probably don't need this much knowledge. We can probably go to there. Welfare's still pretty important. We'll do that. 10% on mission control.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Okay, we should now go positive. Yes, we've gone positive. It's not very positive, but it is positive. Aliens appearing in New York. Aliens appearing in the skies. Aliens
Cleaning
appearing
things
bloody
up.
everywhere, and I'm just trying to manage my own space. Yes, okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's my first mission control station starting.
Standing by for orders.
Now our stations are no longer
Acknowledged.
vulnerable. We are no longer in danger.
Ready for orders.
We should have more mission control finishing basically in this mission cycle. So I can afford to throw up 1 or 2 more, and that's exactly what I will do. Then I need to throw up a shipyard station and maybe some more mines. Let's go. Found orbital. Take me there. HEOMCV. Let's hog these orbital slots. Throw in the usual configuration of 6 solar arrays. To achieve something that half of our money income on Earth struggled to cover. Now that said, these things cost upkeep, whereas MC on Earth doesn't.
Orders.
We can also turn the US back to Perun Utopia, cut the Unity expenditure, cut the boost expenditure, and go to about 12% or 13% military. I think the US, something like that, is probably going to be enough. Although mission control may or may not have a future past a certain point, because we're now moving to do it
Standing by.
in our stations.
Ready to go.
Leonardo can
Ready.
investigate. Okay, we're going to
We'll make
spam
it.
a little bit of a social media campaign
to?
in Finland,
At
and
your
then we're going to
service.
coup it,
We must
because
persuade
that's
the people.
more peaceful
Standing
than the option where we invade it just for the lols
Protecting our interests.
with Russia and then have to hand it off to the EU. Just not necessary. I will be winding this up soon because I'm getting pretty buggered. We've already got China moving in the right direction though. Inequality has come down by a little bit. Authoritarianism is going
Public
down.
opinion is moving in
The
our
economy is
direction.
holding together while we do it, but the key focus here is getting this science income up.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Yes, Judith, I do hinder their arrival. That's the point of my existence. My point is to resist. Look at that MC score exploding as we finish more stations. How many more MC stations should I build? I think I'll build 1 more MC station. I can't see the one that I thought I just founded, but there we are. I may not have saved the name. I didn't. HEOMCV. HEOMC6. And once the solar flare dies down, we should be in an even better position. Now, my economy is not going to like the fact that I'm building all these op centers, but it's going to allow me to scale space operations much, much quicker. And ideally I'd be doing these around Mercury, but I don't have time, frankly.
We have found something.
Not
Wrapping
on a
up
7-year
here.
time limit. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of mission control. So what I'm probably going to do on Mars is when the construction module finishes in 28 days, I'm going to be able to found more outposts on Mars. I do think
to?
Earth needs a bit of help in terms of its research though, and I need a shipyard. So what we're going to do, since I sold my LEO station, is I'm going to go to LEO 2. What am I going to call this? What am I going to call this? Alright, this is Space Australia. And what we need is a space dock. We need a solar array to power it. That's the bare minimum. And then I want to get science done. The big problem to get through is going to be advanced. It's going to be advanced atomic manipulation, followed by diamondoids. So a whole bunch of this material science is the problem right now. So we could do with a bit of a bonus on that. So let's do that. I don't really like the 3% bonus investment to military priority, but we can get a +3, +6, +9, +12, +15. Need to build another array. So that should cut significantly off our research time. We may have saved ourselves potentially months. We could even build a second Space Australia, but I think another set of mines might matter more. I'll consider at the end of this
Ready for
cycle. That's
orders.
something to think about, whether we need Space Australia too.
Where to?
I'm here.
Antonella, you should just keep doing what
Reporting
you're
in.
doing. Let's just make ourselves
We'll
very,
make our
very popular.
Ready to go.
So Iran is in good hands.
Securing
Is
our
out of
interests.
interest? No, Exodus is not interested in those. They're interested in boost, in mission control, and keeping the country functional. They're good guys. I
Making
mean,
things safe for our people.
they're cowards in the sense they want to run away, but I have no problem with Exodus, and they're going to have no problem with me, I expect. What's Antigone? Antigone sucks. It's got a lot of metal. A lot of metal. Actually, it's got a lot of noble metals too. Actually, this is not bad. That's not bad. Do I not have the boost to get there? I do not. $417 days. I'm not interested at 417 days. I'd rather use my MC on Mars once the construction module finishes.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
Repeat.
The people will come to our
Repeat.
side.
Prepping for mission.
Repeat.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
I'm so glad we solved the mission control problem.
We have found something.
Yeah, sure, we'll round up the entire population. And we found some xenoforms. Great. Yes, we gave up Mexico, so it's about time someone took it, and Exodus is coming in. Okay. Was that our outpost core, or was that... Yeah, that was just the outpost core. Ah, well. That's a mine that's going to be finished next month. What I want is the construction module. One more cycle, it says. Who can I steal from? Absolutely. Go steal shit
We'll
from the
catch up on years
servants.
of research.
Free
At your
science.
service.
There's a couple of xenoforming locations. We'll help out.
Going in hot.
We've done patrol vessels, great. So we can now build larger ships, which is the ones I think I'm going to need if I want to take down the aliens. Do I want nanotube armor? No, I don't think I want any of this. or at least none of this is important. Sabotage, contraband scanners is how you stop your facilities getting blown up, or at least make it less likely that and stationing armies there. Could do management research, could do any of these. Graphene batteries, pipe radiators. I'll research pipe radiators, but really I'm going to go like this. In fact, I might even go like this. 20 September. Advanced atomic manipulation. Let's get some good stuff. Probe has arrived at Ceres, but we won't start constructing because we're going to wait for the construction outpost to get there. But out of interest, I'll show you Ceres. Oh man, they've already researched Nerva Drive. Okay, so one, scary, the servants have already researched Nerva Drive. Secondly, awesome, the servants have already researched Nerva Drive. I don't really want any of this. I'll do Global Listening Network. So I was going to do two things, and then I'll probably wrap up. We're going to look at Ceres, so you can see what I'm talking about. Where is it? There it is. There you are. 206 water, 198 water, 138 water, 173 water. So the lowest income here is 138. Meanwhile, the highest income on Mars is 117 in one slot. Ceres is where you go for water.
We've moved the needle.
Our case remains unheard.
I might permanent assignment some of these guys, especially the ones who are doing missions in the United States, because I always want to be popular there.
Target secured.
Our influence has gone massively negative again.
Prepping for my next mission.
What has happened? We've completed the construction model. Great, I'll show that off in a moment. But why has my income gone massively negative again? I gave up Myanmar. I gave up Turkey. Europe should be fine. I've given up Mexico. Oh no, Mexico has unabandoned, so we're going to re-abandon Mexico. Let's go to Mars. Okay, so we've completed now on Mars a construction module. Let me illustrate how this changes things. Let's just say we want to found at Xanthe Terra. It's okay, it's got 44 metal, 49 volatiles, it's an okay location. So I want to found an outpost at Xanthe Terra, and look at that, 30 days. Because they're constructing it on Mars. 60 days. 30 days. How much better is that? It's fantastic. So that is now how you can scale out. Once you have a construction module in place, plus we can then use it to found a platform which would only take 30 days. Much better situation all around. Anyway, let's go back to Earth. We'll finish this cycle. The space dock has finished. Nothing's powered yet because the power generators are still completing. They'll be finished in October. That's okay. But until then, let's just get an idea of what our ship designs are looking like. This is a nice way to close out. Design ship class. Let's see how close we are to what I want. I think something like a monitor would be a good go. And we have Copperhead missiles. So I'm thinking, the approach I'm thinking is a ship which is basically all missile tubes to overwhelm whatever advanced systems the aliens have and just exploit long-range cruise missiles. That's what I'm thinking. So if we then stuck a magazine for additional reloads, a water heat sink, I'll need to research better batteries because lithium ion sucks, but solid core fission, a Nerva drive, 6 tubes, enough propellant to get us to about 10 kps. Geez, the Nerva still isn't very good, is it? In terms of armor, we've got boron carbide, but I don't think actually putting any armor anywhere except for the front is worth it. And then we need radiators, of which I can go with titanium radiators. What am I missing? I mean, I can mount... That doesn't seem to be a problem. What is missing? Oh. So, it was not letting me save as a troop transport because, you know, it's not a troop transport. So this is functional. This is functional. It would cost 457 water, 117 volatiles. I could build this. I could build this right now. It's not particularly fast. It's got, like, batshit low levels of acceleration. This 8.2 is not very good. Like, you want things that can accelerate much better than this. This thing's going to float into combat. But it's got a lot of missiles. It's got a lot of missiles. I think we need to replace the battery, I think we need to replace the radiator, and I still want a better engine. Chemical rockets are going to give you more thrust. You can see these early rockets that you start with have huge thrust ratings, 14.9 compared to 6.6 on the Nova. The problem is these are all absolute dog shit when it comes to efficiency, whereas the Nova is not. So we could build a ship right now. I'm holding out for some better technology, but if you want me to rush a little tin can out, I can, even if just to defend our station. I may produce a second Space Australia, but this should, when it finishes, increase our research speed from like +3 to like +20%, which should cut down the time considerably. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. We have a construction module on Mars, which means we can expand there easily. We've got an expanding number of mission control stations in Earth orbit, which is pushing up our MC pretty quickly. That's hurting our funding a lot. We're spending a lot of money, minus 15.1 on HABs now. But as long as we can keep increasing our income, this is a way to speed this up as opposed to just investing on Earth. So, hope you're enjoying. Talk to you all again soon.